Square pegs, round holes. You've heard it all before, right? You might have heard, when you try and do something and, in terms of saying it's impossible. Someone might say it's a square peg. It's like trying to fit a square peg into a round hole. Impossible, right? Or trying to find a needle in a haystack. And the needle in the haystack, let me tell you this, is most likely difficult, right? I personally have never thrown a needle in a haystack and gone to pick it up, right? I don't have any hay near me. You probably have no hay near you. It is what it is, right? You got needles, you don't got the hay. Square peg into a round hole, on the other hand, right? Let's just think about that one. We're saying, in saying this phrase, that something's difficult to do, impossible per se, things of that nature, right? Doesn't make sense. Let me elaborate. Allow me to. Let's get to the bottom of this phrase, right? We're saying something is difficult. Why is it difficult? Right? Let's take our peg and let's take our hole and let's analyze the situation. In what case is a square peg not fitting into the round hole? In the case, I'll let you sit there and think about it, right? 1, 2, 3, there you go, you thought about it. The case that this is when the square peg is bigger than the round hole, right? Then it doesn't fit, and that makes sense. But if the peg was also round and was also bigger than the round hole, that's also not gonna fit, right? So that can't be our issue. The issue with the statement saying something's difficult cannot be that if it's bigger, then it still doesn't fit, right? Because if the round peg was bigger, then it doesn't fit. Right? So that can't be the issue that we're going for. Let's see on the other side, smaller, right? If the square peg is smaller than the round hole, then okay, it fits. So that's not difficult. That's pretty straightforward, right? So where in this sentence are we saying that something can't be done, right? Because if it's bigger, then, everything doesn't fit. It's not just a square peg. If it's smaller, it fits because it's smaller. Like, it makes sense, right? So let's analyze the last option left. That's right, the last option left. Let's think about it. Go ahead. Do you want to come up with the last option? I'll give you 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. Say it out loud. Say your answer. Wrong. When they're the same was the correct answer. Now I know what you're thinking. I said that. I said you didn't. You didn't say that. When they're the same. What do I mean by the same? Let's take a square peg. Let's do it. Let's take it. You got it? Hold it in your hand. Not both hands, one hand. Remember. Here we go. You're holding a square peg. Oh, I don't have a square peg to hold it. Your imagination, bro. Use your imagination. Hold it. There you go. Let's take your round hole. I don't have a round... Imagination. How many times I gotta tell you? Here we go. Try and put it in. They're identical. And you're saying I can't imagine it. I don't know. Tell me the answer. Okay. I'll tell you like I'm ChatGPT over here. Gotta tell you everything. Can't do no work for yourself. Here's what it is. Let me tell you what it is. And what do I mean by the same, right? I mean, if the radius of the round peg matches the radius of or the square peg, rather, if the radius of the square peg matches the radius of the round hole, then does it fit, right? So if we're saying they're the same size, does it fit? right? So let's take a 1-inch radius round hole, and let's take a 1-inch radius square peg. Guess what happens? Guess what happens? It fits, right? So what are we saying? It's like trying to fit a square peg into a round hole. It fits in the round hole. Granted, I will give you this. I will give this statement this much credit. It fits a certain way, right? If you try and put it in, if you try and tilt it, it doesn't fit anymore. It has to go in, parallel to, where that round, just straight in, right? You can't twist it or turn it. So I'll give it that. But in every other sense, I mean, it's light work, it's easy. So just something to think about. Let you think about that. If you want to use that phrase anymore. I don't know if people really use that phrase. Maybe if you're thinking about it, you opt for the needle in the haystack. I think that's what I'll be doing moving forward, but maybe that's just me.